Greg Ellingson, who last year evoked memories of Clements to Gabriel in the 70s. Their touchdown-winning Grey Cup catch. This was Burris to Ellingson down the sideline for a 93-yard miracle.
Well, the most memorable play in the brief history of the Ottawa Redblacks, the one that sent them to the Grey Cup. This time, not quite as dramatic. Greg Ellingson, he's going deep. You're going to see the inside receiver. I believe that's Sinopoli, who's running the out. What's going to happen is the defender is going to sit on Sinopoli in the flat, allows Ellingson to slip in behind him, and in that brief window, Henry Burris puts the ball in the air for the game's first touchdown.
Convert missed, but it's 9-0.
Hey, how you feeling, 3-7? Shoulder?
Keep in mind the Redblacks are with the wind, and also keep in mind, which could be a huge factor, the Edmonton Eskimos won the coin toss and they deferred to the second half, and so that could play into it. These two teams played very, very close football, one possession football all the way back to last November. Shakir Bell is sandwiched. As we go down to the sideline once more, here's Matthew Shinetti.
Now, guys, Mike Riley is wearing all the appropriate things, even in this weather, to go ahead and be successful as he can be today. But there's a little something added extra on his right wrist. That's the band that he got earlier this week when he and his wife, Emily, welcomed Brooklyn, their first daughter. When we spoke to Riley yesterday, he said, you know, when you prepare for a football game and you're always in the moment, sometimes you forget little things that become important. But when you become a parent, you realize that no matter what happens on the football field, there's always things more important that you can go home to. Guys?
Yeah, great point, Matty. And Mike Riley beaming yesterday and holding this one back for the last moment, was going to go play action, decided to leave it on the ground for John White. It is obviously life-changing for Mike Riley. This is a guy who has had a year to remember if you go back to last November.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a pretty magical 365 days. Mike Riley, Grey Cup champion, new father. The turmoil surrounding the Eskimos through the offseason, start of this season, complete change to their coaching staff, but here they are with an opportunity through a rather circuitous route to get back to the big game.
2nd and 4, he zips one in. There's a penalty flag down. Zylstra is able to hang on to the ball. Looked like he's getting up slowly. Flag flew in the backfield as Riley delivered that football.
Well, Darius Bowman got pulled down as he ran his route on that play.
You know, there probably are a number of players who have never even seen snow, never mind played in snow in this ball game, but Zylstra would not be one of them. Played at Concordia College in Moorhead, Minnesota, a Division III school of all things.
Holding Edmonton, number 66. Illegal contact on the receiver, Ottawa, number 34. It will be repeat, 2nd down.
You talk about a circuitous route to get to the CFL. Brandon Zylstra has taken it.
Well, he certainly has. As you mentioned, former Division III player at Concordia College. Attended an open workout. Paid his $100, went to the open workout for the Edmonton Eskimos, and absolutely stood out, catching the eye of their scouts. They took him to minicamp, where he continued to turn heads. Didn't get on the roster until late in the season, but it's been terrific.
Far sideline has Corey Watson there. Watson sheds one tackle, and it's Edmonton's first down into Ottawa territory, and Corey Watson, kind of the unheralded part of this receiving corps. Speaking of a Concordia product, Concordia University, of course, in Canada, one of the great stingers of yesteryear.
It was Corey Watson's injury that opened the door for Zylstra to get back in the lineup. Watson's so important, getting involved in the blocking schemes for the Esks.
And that ball is dropped by Darrell Walker. There was no whistle originally. I think they're saying this is a catch and likely a fumble, and he was able to scoop it up. We'll have to see what the ruling is. Indeed, that's what they are saying. Darrell Walker, normally very sure-handed. Outstanding season again, Dwayne.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year a year ago, 2nd leading receiver, only behind his teammate Darius Bowman here in 2016.
Second down and 9. Under 90 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Here comes the rush. Riley stands in, and he is going down. First sack of the ball game. Ottawa Redblacks. Barry, Mike Riley. Like Connor Williams led the pack.
Connor Williams, Ottawa boy, coming from the right side of that D-line. He gets the start at defensive end today. Terrific season for Connor Williams, who missed essentially all of 2015 due to injury.
Vancouver-born Connor Williams, who played his university ball at Utah State. Shaw, this is a good kick into the breeze. Again, Tristan Jackson. Nobody's been down there. You can see that there are no footprints, and finally brings it up a couple of yards. There's Moten Hopkins, the veteran, who fired his team up before this ball game.
Look at us. We've been through a lot to get here, man. A lot of injuries, a lot of losses, a lot of failures, man, our successes. Tonight we show up, man. Tonight we show up. Any doubt out of your mind, get it out. Every doubt out of your mind, get it out. We're gonna win this game.
Right now.
This is family, man. I love y'all to death, man. I love y'all to death. Rise up. Let's go. Stand around 3. 1, 2, 3.
That is some pregame speech for a guy who's celebrating his 30th birthday today. Happy birthday, Moten Hopkins. So long field now. Worst starting point so far for the Redblacks, who lead 9-0. And Keenan LaFrance is sprung here. LaFrance off to the races, and he has dropped. But another big gain for the Canadian running back.
That's been Vive la France for the Ottawa Redblacks so far. A couple of big runs for him. Stepping in to pinch hit for an injured Moses Madu.
28-yard pickup. The teams will change ends. Ottawa will go against the wind now. Snow continues to fall. Excitement ramps up in the Eastern Final. All Ottawa first quarter here in the Eastern Final. 9-0 Redblacks in the Grey Cup rematch, and the numbers point obviously in the Redblacks' way. Now they will go against the wind here on this wintry day in the nation's capital. Now keep in mind though, you go back to last November in Winnipeg, the Ottawa Redblacks actually had a 13-0 lead and ended up losing that Grey Cup game to Edmonton.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know based on the start how things are gonna play out here. Obviously, you've got two teams. When you're playing with everything on the line, you're gonna play for 60 minutes. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But for both of these teams, what happened last time, not just last time they met, but last time they met in the postseason, is without a doubt on their minds.
So Ottawa now scrimmaging on their own side of the field after the 28-yard run from Keenan LaFrance. France has been a factor so far, and out of the backfield is Patrick Lavoie. You and I used to cover a lot of CIS games. We watched Patrick Lavoie down the road in Laval a lot in these very similar conditions.
Yeah, Patrick Lavoie, very versatile guy. Listed as a fullback, but plays more of an H-back kind of role. Part receiver, part blocker. Very rarely carrying the ball. But a pretty reliable guy catching the rock for sure.
They're at the 53-yard line. Their own 53. And handing it off on the backfield once again is LaFrance. And who would have thought, with all the talk about Moses Madu and the numbers, extraordinary numbers that he had put up in such a short time, we would be talking about Keenan LaFrance. But next man up is the motto in Ottawa.
Yeah, and I mentioned off the top the situation for the Edmonton Eskimos where they elected to dress the two American backs. That was an option for Ottawa. Trayvon Van available, but this shows you the confidence they have in Keenan LaFrance, the confidence he's been able to earn through his performance when given opportunities throughout the year.
Now from the Edmonton 41, 1st and 10. Again, they put it in the midst of LaFrance, and with a convoy, barrels his way for about half the first down yardage. You know, Dwayne, you played, I'm sure, in games like this in the past, but all the preparation. We talked with the coaches yesterday. Obviously, Ottawa had the bye week. All of the stuff that you put into your playbook, all of that execution that you're thinking about, and the day turns out like this.
Well, but part of your preparation, believe me, is it involves reading those weather forecasts or listening to the weather forecast. Both these teams were prepared for this. We understand this even for Edmonton coming across the country. They brought footwear that gives them an opportunity. They brought their warm weather gear.
Here's LaFrance again. 25-year-old. Played junior football in Winnipeg and high school ball at Sturgeon Heights. Ended up with Brian Dobie's Manitoba Bisons and now is becoming a prominent figure in this Eastern final.
Yeah, Jamie Elizondo putting him to work a little bit. Much said about the Eskimos' reborn ground game down the stretch of this season. You're seeing the Ottawa Redblacks here doing a pretty good job rushing the ball as well.
They continue to put it on the turf. Ladler stands up. LaFrance saw Mike Benavides, the defensive coordinator. Last year at this time, he was part of our TSN panel. Moss was the offensive coordinator for Ottawa, so there have been a lot of changing faces and changing places.
And for Mike Benavides looking to find some answers to Keenan LaFrance in that Ottawa rushing game here in the early going. The growth of this defense has been a big part of the Eskimos' turnaround over the course of this season.
Down to the Edmonton 24-yard line, close to the red zone, looking end zone. Oh, it's caught! Touchdown, Khalil Payton! Henry Burris lays it in perfectly. Khalil Payton, who was given his walking papers from the Redblacks this season and then given a callback, comes back and has a huge touchdown now here in the second quarter.
Yeah, life is the forgotten man sometimes in that receiving corps. Khalil Payton, after the injury to Chris Williams, was brought back. You see exactly why. I mean, his was a case where he wasn't released because they didn't think he could play. It was just a numbers thing. And immediately when Williams went down, they knew he was the guy they wanted to step in and replace him. You saw why.
So against the wind, the Redblacks go for two. Will they get it? Yes, they will. LaFrance puts two more on the board. What an impressive drive that began late first quarter. Continues into the early second quarter. And Khalil Payton has his first CFL touchdown catch in the postseason. He knocks, it is knocked for Khalil Payton.
Well, it sure has, and one of the guys that helped make this happen, Tommy Draheim, in at left tackle this week. Terrific cut block there on Philip Hunt, one of the many pass rushers for the Edmonton Eskimos. That's one way to slow him down. He opens up throwing lanes, their line of vision for Henry Burris, who with that touchdown pass completed a 7-play, 93-yard drive, covering 4 minutes and 9 seconds.
Shakir Bell tries to bolt up the middle. Antoine Pruneau is there to greet him. You know, you look at Khalil Payton, and again, what's happened to the Redblacks, and like the Edmonton Eskimos, such a treasure chest of receivers. Payton was basically sent home. They didn't have room for him. Then Chris Williams goes down. Devastating, you would think, to the Ottawa Redblacks. The Payton's come in and filled his cleats quite admirably.
Yeah, and this is part of the process over a couple of years. When you think back to 2014, their inaugural season, lack of receivers was an issue for this team. Now they have enough depth that a guy like Khalil Payton was a spare part, essentially. But they had that depth in terms of a guy that they knew could step in and play, that knew their system and so on. A quick phone call, and he's right back in their lineup, making a huge contribution here in the East Division Final.
Edmonton will need this guy to make a huge contribution to the CFL's leading receiver, Darius Bowman, arguably also an outstanding player candidate in so many ways for what he did this year. But the Eskimos down 17-0 early on here. However, this is an Edmonton team that has been used to playing comeback.
Yeah, it's been that kind of season for the Edmonton Eskimos. They faced all kinds of adversity when you think about it, and really having to travel and play through the East. Just another example of that for this team. But they've gotten to this point because of their ability and willingness to overcome adversity. So they're a team that at 17-0, yeah, they recognize that it's a challenge, but they've faced those all year.
7 of their 10 wins this season. The Eskimos came back from a 7-point deficit. 4 of those were by 10 points or more, and this is what they did down the stretch, winning 6 of 7. Talk about peaking at the absolute right time.
There you see it, 6-1 in their last 7. Coming home.
Much of that had to do just with continuity and getting players healthy, back in the lineup, and a defense that was still missing some pieces early in the season and finally found its way.
Yeah, you look at these two teams. Ottawa won both games during the regular season. Obviously, both were close games, but both are different teams when you look at the lineup. For Edmonton in particular, nearly a quarter of their roster is different than what faced Ottawa early in the season, as they played each other twice in their first 6 or 7 games of the year. Edmonton has 10 players in their lineup today who didn't face Ottawa during the regular season.
2nd and 3. Riley's going deep here. One-on-one downfield, and oh, what a catch! A beauty! How did Brandon Zylstra come up with that through the snow with Mitchell White draped all over him, and Zylstra with a huge play here for the Eskimos.
And Brandon Zylstra, again, great concentration, gets the DB to settle his feet, but Mitchell White recovers nicely. But terrific concentration from the receiver. I guess the plan is you just look for the one dark spot against a white backdrop.
Gutsy call on 2nd and 3 as well to go deep like that. And up the middle they go again to John White, who was such a force a week ago and last year. John White, something to prove this year. Has a Grey Cup ring but did not play. Ruptured his Achilles tendon early in the season, before the season began, and was a spectator.
And John Climby talked about it in the pregame show today. John White took a little while really to overcome that injury, even though he was back in the starting lineup this season. Took until into September before he started to look like the old explosive John White again. And he's been outstanding, over 100 yards in 4 of his last 5 outings, including last week against Hamilton.
Riley throwing again and trying to come back to the ball on 2nd and 5. Best the Eskimos will do here is bring out the sure foot of Sean White. The drive will stall, and the Eskimos will get some points here. He's trying to put up 3, and Sean White, you talk about dependable. Inside the 40-yard line, has made 51 straight dating back to last season. 46 for 46 this season inside the 50. But keep in mind, Sean White has not ever had to kick this season through a blizzard. Jordan Lynch, the holder. They're going to fake it. Lynch is going behind center. Sends out some receivers, and he's trying to draw the Redblacks offside. So a time count violation. They'll keep White out here, and they'll do it for
Time
real
count
this
violation.
time.
Edmonton number 5. By fair penalty, remains 3rd down.
Was a little slow to develop there. You kind of had a feeling he was trying to get them off on cadence.
Yeah, and it's one of those where you pick your spots a little bit, right? Given the yardage, the field position, and so on. A calculated gamble by the Edmonton Eskimos, where the loss for them, or the difference in terms of the distance, isn't massive in terms of affecting Sean White's range.
Instead of 26, it's 33. The wind is kind of swirling now, and it looks like it's coming a little bit into Sean White. The wind's changing. One thing that's not the snow. White shakes some snow off his foot and then pours it through once more. Money. Sean White puts his team on the board, down 14 in the East Final. And Keenan LaFrance has become the X factor so far. A couple of huge games for the Red Black running back. The CFL playoffs on TSN are brought to you by BDC, the only bank devoted exclusively to entrepreneurs. First blast of winter in the nation's capital. The Red Blacks have taken the first blast of the Eskimos. 17-3 the lead. Scrimmaging from their 35-yard line after the successful field goal from Sean White. Burris, play action, slap pass. Ernest Jackson now. Jackson grinding in. Another big play from Action Jackson. 29 yards into Edmonton territory.
Ernest Jackson's the inside man in this three-receiver set. Going to work his way across the field into his comfort zone. Heavy traffic in the middle. For Ernest Jackson playing in these conditions, not a big deal. Native of Rochester, played his college ball at the University of Buffalo.
Burris again pulls it back, near sideline, goes to the boundary for Kreiner. Another first down. Right now, the Eskimo defense getting shredded in the air. Let's go down to Matthew.
Absolutely, Rod. Certainly not the way they wanted to start this series, because after the last series, Almondo Sewell came off of the field, threw his helmet. His teammates tried to corral him to calm him down. Only after that did Mike Benavides come over, pull the entire defense to one side of the sideline, and spent a couple minutes just trying to calm everybody down. A big group, trying to relax everybody, and then even after that, spent a lot of time with his front guys in the defensive line and his linebackers, but clearly not the reaction they wanted, guys.
There's Marcel Young pulling down LaFrance. It'll be a second down. It'll be a throwing down for the Red Blacks. Well, Mike Benavides has been there and done that before with other teams, of course, most prominently the BC Lions. But I don't think anybody saw this kind of start coming for the Eskimos, especially with the momentum they carried from last week.
Yeah, and it's the ongoing debate for the Eskimos. Bear in mind, it's been a shorter week of preparation because of the travel that's been involved and so on, whereas Ottawa's been in preparation mode from the moment they knew who they were facing on Sunday.
Second down conversion, and slip sliding away was Kreiner after 4 straight second down conversions. That one's a failure. And so the Red Blacks on third down now. Burris is going behind center. Henry Burris, this is a third down play. 3rd and 11 into this wind, and they're deciding to go for it here. This is from the 34. Penalty flag. Burris wide open to the end zone. Ellingson.
Yeah, he was about 10 yards offside.
That's coming back. There'll be another third down play as Ellingson was
offside
in the backfield.
Ottawa, number 82.
Edmonton.
5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.